Heads up. If you have kids around,
parental advisory is in effect.
This is the Bonus Bone Podcast with Lamont and Tonelli.
It's like water torture.
Baby Huey.
Shasta.
And Joe Hawk.
Did you ever exact revenge on anyone, Baby Huey? I want to know how fucking
he's
evil.
a very evil guy.
Well, devious. I mean, I think he's fucking passive aggressive, though. I think he fucking does shit. There's no fucking way. I know you. I know you. I knew there was something.
Hold on, are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I knew there was something that you've done.
It literally just came to me like a lightning bolt.
There. See, I knew he hit it in his mind.
All right, you know what? We're keeping this. We've already started. Let's intro the podcast. You're listening to the Bonus Bone Podcast. Shasta, Lamont, Tonelli, Baby Huey, and Joe Hawk. We're clearly so excited about the topic today. We started without the intro, so bring us in. Tell us why you chose this, Lamont.
My thing is, I want to know, have each one of us, have you ever done something just friggin' heinous for revenge on someone? If someone has wronged you, because I know deep down inside, everyone has that little evil,
a little spark of evil
moment. They're just like, you know what? You fucked me over. I'm going to fuck you.
I have a couple of stories.
You see, you're too nice of a person, and you have one.
Well, hold on. Mine involve other people. Okay, so they're actually both kind of quick stories. So the first one, I was with a girlfriend, and she had been cheated on, and one night she decided to get revenge, and I happened to be in the vehicle, and she drove to his house and slashed his tire.
Okay, that's one crazy ass.
I witnessed it, so I mean, I guess I'm an accomplice.
Did you know what she was going to do prior to this?
I didn't know she was going to slash his tires. Well, first she peed on his tires.
Oh, I love this girl.
That's impressive.
and then she slashed them. So
how did she pee on the tires? Did she squat on them?
Yeah, she kind of like squatted and hovered and
squirted. Right there on the street.
I wasn't looking that closely, so I don't know.
Now, when she was squirting and peeing on the guy's tires, what did you do?
I was freaking out, and I didn't know that the slashing was going to happen. I had a feeling she was probably going to do something. I thought maybe key or toilet paper or something, but she really went for it. And she was buzzed when she hopped out of the car. So she had been drinking. It was a truck full of sorority sisters, actually, that I had. And she was almost 7 sheets to the wind, I think.
What did the rest of the sisters do?
Everybody freaked out, and then the girl drove away, and we were all like, oh my God, what did you do? And she thought it was hilarious, and he never found out but knew.
Yeah.
Because he had just broken up with her after he cheated. He cheated, then broke up with her, so it was pretty clear as to what was going on. So I was an accomplice to that. But here's the other thing, and God bless you to my ex-husband if he's listening, because he doesn't know this.
This is... See, I knew it deep down inside.
So my husband, we've already covered this story on the podcast. Okay. So my husband, my OG husband, my first one, and he and I are friends, so all is well. But he left. He took my wedding ring. You remember
had
that
no
part?
idea. You went to the store.
Yeah.
He cleaned out the apartment, including he took your wedding ring.
Correct. I was at the grocery store when he left. And so fast forward a couple months later, he didn't pay his bills very well.
Right.
We'll just say that. So I get a call. I'm getting all kinds of credit card companies and companies calling me, and because we're still on the books, we're still married. And so they called to repo his car.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, that sucks. Like, that's awful. How is he going to get to work? I felt terrible. And they were like, man, we need his current address. And I was like, well, shit. What do I do here? It was a moral conundrum. So I gave him his address.
Of course you did.
Yeah, because you were on the books. They could have taken your car.
That's how I'm justifying it. I was afraid they would come after me.
Right.
Since I knew they had my number, my address, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They knew he was out of state.
Yeah.
But they didn't know where, and I had his address. That's all I gave it.
So did you find out that they repo his car?
They did repo his car.
Well, I wouldn't call that revenge.
I would. That's a good one. That is a good one.
You didn't go out of your way.
I did not call them.
You didn't think of something to do. It came to you.
On my father's grave, I did not.
That was karma working in a certain way.
That's exactly right. I like how you think, Tonelli.
Well, now that we know he thinks like that, have you ever fucked someone over?
Well, I don't know if effing somebody over is the right way to put it. Most of the stuff that I'm able to think about is more along the practical joke thing. But
yeah.
One time when I was a kid, I had a paper route, And there was a particular asshole that was always giving me a hard time.
What's a paper route?
Oh, you don't know what a paper route is?
I know what a paper route is.
Well, you delivered that quite
He's just doing the old guy thing.
Yeah, because I thought he was serious.
I know what a paper route is.
It's something
You're
that
not that young.
I played Paperboy on the N64.
It's something that you read. I'll explain that to you later.
Thanks, Grandpappy.
And
Continue.
And it was really bugging the crap out of me. So I had some friends who worked at a gas station that was at the end of my paper route. I always went by and said hello on my way home. And I was talking to a guy at the gas station. I said, there's this prick along the route. And he goes, I got just the thing. So he gave me 4 of these things that you screw on the tire stem. And they deflate the tires.
That's outstanding.
That is.
Nice. So the next day, as I started my paper route, I found his car in the garage of the apartment, or one of the apartment buildings, and I screwed all 4 onto the tire stems, and then did my paper route. It took about a half hour, 45 minutes, and then went back and then took the stems off and put the caps back on the tires, and he had 4 flat tires. Now, I justified this.
Yes.
By thinking I didn't do any damage to the car.
No, I was just going to say.
Because he never gave you a quarter tip that week.
Yeah.
I didn't slash the tires.
No, you didn't ruin them.
The tires were perfectly fine. All we had to do was fill them back up with air.
Right.
Somehow get a car with 4 completely, they were completely flat tires. And so who knows what he did after that, but he never knew it was me.
The worst.
And you saw no repercussion from this? He didn't find out it was you? You didn't know it was you?
No, it was done properly.
I was stealth about it.
Yes.
Then there was the time, just as a practical joke, peeing in a Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo.
Yeah.
Kind of the amber
it's yellow.
color.
Yeah.
That was a locker room prank, peeing in the Johnson & Johnson shampoo
It was Johnson,
bottle.
Johnson, and Johnson.
All the Johnsons. That's terrible. On who used it?
A couple of the players.
You got a couple of them at once?
Well, I was late for practice. Surprise.
Yeah.
And I figured, I saw the bottle sitting up there on the shower as I was getting changed to my football
Tonelli,
stuff.
why are you so late? I'm sorry, I was busy pissing in the shampoo.
And I said, what the hell? I had to take a leak before practice, so I just got the bottle, and it was about half full of shampoo, and I filled the other half with piss.
Oh my God. Did they know?
And you couldn't tell. No, you couldn't tell.
They never knew?
No.
They know now.
Yeah.
Will they be able to figure out? Will they listen to this podcast?
Probably.
They had your piss in their hair.
It's harmless, practical joke kind of stuff, right?
The second one's harmless.
My revenge has to do with, like pranks as well, too. And mostly back in college. And it was always just everybody just, more repercussions from doing the same thing. So and it was always fad pranks, too. Mm-hmm. So for a while there, when I first joined my fraternity, the big prank would be whenever you first moved into the house, you leave your door unlocked accidentally, like to go to the bathroom or something like that. All the guys in the house would go into your room and flip everything upside down.
Oh, geez.
And I'm talking like little things too, like, your backpack or your TV or like a pencil or, the littlest of things. So then like maybe days later, you find something upside down. Then it evolved to taking your doors off if you leave it unlocked and then tossing on the roof of the fraternity house.
Oh, my God.
But then the one prank that got a little out of hand was, our floors were all linoleum. Mm-hmm. So someone thought it'd be a smart idea to take a stick of butter and just put some butter on the floor.
Now, that's a funny one right there.
Dude, that...
So...
You're thinking funny, I'm thinking dangerous.
Well, first of all, it started off... in the worst place, in the bathroom, on the tile floor, where just absolutely no friction whatsoever. You come out wet, you step on that tile floor,
Jesus,
naked. You
could have killed somebody doing that.
Almost got someone with a concussion.
I bet
not.
Yeah.
But then it evolved to right in front of everybody's like different dorm doors and stuff and like that. So
Dude,
we sitting there like, is he going to come out? Like, what the hell? Like, it's like whenever you hear a car screech and you're like, oh, is they going to crash?
Impact.
And then no impact. But then you hear, da-doom!
Got him.
Yeah, but that was really about it.
That's I would say harmless, but that actually could have had really bad effects.
That could have really fucked someone up.
Knock on wood.
How about you, Huey, Mr. Devious? I know you've got one
in you. Devious look on his face now, doesn't he?
Okay, so senior year in high school, playing varsity basketball. My coach was a total a-hole. He thought he was Bobby Knight 2.0. This guy would just yell at everything we did. It was just always screaming. And one Saturday morning, we had a Saturday morning practice, and he was just being a total dick, just yelling about something. We weren't hustling or whatever. Keep in mind, it's Saturday morning. So for me, my body, it's like, that's normally my poo time.
So I like where this is going.
Now we know. Yeah.
So my stomach's
Baby
bubbling.
Huey poo time.
So my stomach's bubbling. And literally, we were at one end of the court, and he was just going off about something. And I was just like, really? Like, I was just getting pissed off. So I was near him, and I just let one out. SPD, silent but deadly. And literally, it was, I farted and I ran, and something happened. He stopped the play. He's like, stop. And he comes running over to our side of the court.
Did you know it was you?
No. So he comes running over, and he's like, yelling, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden he goes, woo! his face, like I still remember to this day, his face of like he took a big inhale when he was yelling. And he's like,
wow.
Woo!
So if he was yelling, he ate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, right? He
You
did.
might as well just take in your butt and put it right in his face.
Absolutely. I would have loved that. And then he was like, oh, what's that smell? And he said, everyone run to the other side of the court. We got like, he couldn't stand it. So he made us run to the other side to finish yelling at us. But,
Now we know you can clear a room.
yeah, absolutely. But so for me, that was a small victory for myself.
Yeah.
Small
Oh,
victory.
jeez.
F
I
you
feel
for
you.
always yelling at me.
Yeah, during your
whatnot.
poo time.
So,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Fuck, I
payback.
know now. If someone drive by as the control room, I know it was Baby Huey.
See, you've blamed Tonelli all these years.
Exactly. So now I'm blaming you. It's
Thank
probably
you.
And now you know.
It's probably Baby Huey farting in the room.
Snacking on garlic to mask it. Make it
Yeah.
seem like
Yeah,
it's another-
right? It's all a ruse. And now we know your poo time is in the morning.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, all right. So when
Yeah.
you disappear, now we know where you go. All right, Lamont,
so
it's your turn.
For me, in my first radio job, I lived in a home with 5 other freaking guys. This lady,
Dear God.
this couple rented out rooms in their house to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And I had one room. 2 guys shared a room. The son was who was older, had the basement. I mean, we were all over the place.
Yeah.
So one morning, and I had a late night shift at this radio station, so I would wake up around noon because I didn't have to be in work until later on in the day. So one day I'm watching the lady make breakfast because meals were part of the room and board.
That's great.
That's cool.
And I'm watching her going, hey, that is really kind of weird. I've never seen anyone make toast before where they have the toast buttered before it goes into the toaster. Mm-hmm. I'm making this observation. Mm-hmm. She says to me, oh, no, that's leftover food from this morning's breakfast for the boys. And then I'm going, so she's just heating it up in the toaster. Mm-hmm. So I go, the eggs too, scrambled eggs? She goes, oh, yeah, that's just left over. She was taking it from everyone's plate that they hadn't eaten and putting it on my fucking plate. And I've been eating like this for 6 months, right?
Oh, my God.
So then the son, so I almost feel like throwing up immediately.
Yeah.
So then the son is laughing, who knew about this, and tells me, think that's bad. One of the guys staying in the house was a baseball player from California. Mm-hmm. They played Manitoba baseball in Canada. They bring them in as import players, they were called. John, whatever his name was.
Douchebag?
John Douchebag. That's
JD.
perfect
Yeah,
description.
JD.
So John Douchebag, the son says to me, oh, do you think that's bad? John Douchebag has been using your toothbrush every day because he doesn't have one.
Oh,
in the community bathroom.
I would be so pissed off.
Chasta, I almost fucking threw up. It wasn't bad enough about the friggin' leftover food that I'm eating.
The leftover food I can almost deal with.
Right.
The toothbrush,
My toothbrush.
I will fight you.
What did I do?
What did you do?
I went to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Well, first off, I went and bought my own toothbrush and locked it up in my room.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Priority.
And I put a padlock on my door so no one could go into my room to get shit. The next thing I did is I left that toothbrush in the bathroom, the wash area. And before I put it back there, I scrubbed the friggin' inside of the toilet with it.
Nice.
And I went friggin' deep.
Nice.
I went into the friggin' hole. And I scrubbed and I scrubbed and I scrubbed. Then I put it back in the holder.
Right.
And I woke up early for like the next 2 weeks listening to this. Hey, John, how are you doing? Oh, I just got to go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and I'm off to work.
Oh, my God.
And I would hear that water turn on, and I was just like, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Take that, John douchebag.
JD for short.
Exactly.
I'm surprised he didn't end up with like E. coli or something.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, honestly.
And by the way, in that 2 week period, I ended up moving after the 2 weeks. I found another place to live.
I would imagine.
But in that 2 week period, I would daily, after taking a nice friggin' healthy dump, reassert that toothbrush into the toilet and scrub it again.
He deserved it.
He deserved it.
JD's a douchebag.
I'll be using my toothbrush.
And it was like retaliation for transmission.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Transgression.
Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm a very vengeful person.
Yeah, but your revenge in that case was equal to
exactly.
his crime.
That's an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
That's right.
Toothbrush for a butthole.
Toothbrush for a butthole. We're not going to get better than that. That's
right.
it, kids.
There's our hashtag.
Yeah. There's the caption, Mari, toothbrush for a butthole. All right, you guys, we're out. Thank you so much for being a part of the Bonus Bone podcast. We'll check you out next week. Bye. Toothbrush for a butthole.